Thank you all for coming. I apologize that we're running a little bit late. We had an executive session tonight to talk about some personnel matters. And I think as soon as Catherine gets to the dais, we'll be ready to start. Oh, Scott. Okay, never mind. You know, we got new lights up here. It's.
I was going to say, it does feel brighter.
Yes, later. No, I think it's nice.
It's a short meeting, hopefully.
Gary, you wanted to know about this line item? So basically, it's one is that they just have to let the window. This was the.
Okay, I call to order this special meeting of the Borough Council. And please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Thank you. Virginia, would you do a roll call of the council, please?
Yes, sir. Mayor Wallace?
Present.
Ms. Grace Engelhardt?
Present.
Oh, someone you turn your.
Here.
Mr. Lubin?
Here.
Mr. Manette?
Here.
Mrs. Murray?
Here.
Mr. Paul?
Here.
Mr. Robinson? Here. Mrs. Sherlock?
Here.
Our borough solicitor?
He's absent, Virginia. Although,
Okay.
if you may note that he was in the executive session via Zoom.
Okay.
Via Zoom.
Okay, yes. Via Zoom, Judith?
Correct. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the public comment section of the meeting. If anyone else wants to make a comment, please sign up. So far, we have only one. Debbie Colgan, please. You know how to state your name and address,
Hi,
and you've got 3 minutes.
I don't need that much. Debbie Colgan, 120 West Hendrickson Avenue. I'm encouraging council to table any consideration for a police administrator, as there is a new council coming in 1 month. A last-minute temporary fix for your decision to fire Chief McClay not only lacks transparency, but also leaves an additional hurdle for the next council to overcome. I know that the solicitor's not here, but I was hoping that I could get clarification on an announcement that was made at the budget meeting last night regarding the RDA property, and that the borough will be having an executive session with the RDA regarding the Manor Park landfill property. Has it been confirmed that the RDA wishes to discuss a specific proposal from a buyer or a renter? Or is this just a status update on the remediation and a discussion of options for repurposing? If it's not about a specific user or specific buyer or user's proposal, then it's in the public's best interest to be included in a public meeting. The Sunshine Law states that executive sessions are used to consider the purchase or lease of real property. Would you please clarify with the solicitor that this is the known intent of the executive session, the RDA? Why is the solicitor advising an executive session? Thank you.
Thank you. We will pass it on to the solicitor. I'm sorry that he's not here himself to deal with it tonight, but we will get his advice on that. Thank you. Okay, that's it for public comment. Moving on to the finance section. Item 4A, call for a motion to adopt the preliminary 2024 budget, which includes a raise in salary for the borough manager of 3%. I got a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So I have some questions on the budget that after we got it yesterday, I started looking at it. Under the EIT, where it says the preliminary budget synopsis, it says allocated monies, $291,000 for real estate tax revenue, $325 loss of MMA voucher. That should actually be $275 loss. It's the $725 that we received from the MMA less the $450.
Duly noted. Thank you.
I also wanted to talk about the EIT and looking at the budget. So you go through and you in continuing that, it's $100,000 for the police truck weight scale, $20,000 for police capital purchase, $30,000 police technology, $10,000 for park activities, $16,500 for park maintenance, and then there's $750,000 in contingency to pay bills. So that comes out to $1,493,000. Now our budget states that in 2024 budget, it is going to be $1,400 is what we are anticipating receiving from the EIT. But when you start looking at the actuals for both 2020, let me see, where am I? 2023 and 2022, we received $380,000 and $1.9 million, which is $2.4 million. Where is that money, and how are we using that?
Some of those monies have been used because of the fact that we needed the $750,000 contingency to pay the bills. Other monies have been still in the accounts, and some of the monies got funneled through the budget. If you see, we're over on some areas in the police budget, so that's where some of the monies went.
I don't see that. So we asked you to do a breakout so that we could tell the public where their EIT dollars are coming, and though we can tell them where the 2024 numbers are, I have no way of telling them what the 2023 numbers are. So can you put that together so that we can know where that EIT dollar is?
I can.
We also have, the mayor has given us some information on body cams for the police officers that need to be done. And he sent us an email saying that we need $25,000. Is that in the current budget? Or does that need to be added in?
At this time, we do have the money in the budget for that, although we did have a meeting with Officer Smith today, and he reached out to the company that we do have the cameras with now, and they're going to provide us with free batteries. So we're going to give that a try and see what takes place. And if that works, that will hold us off until we're ready to possibly apply for a grant.
We're ready to apply for it.
Do we need a second, or did we get a second?
There was a second.
Yeah, second.
Carly,
We're in the
Oh,
discussion.
Carlitha, okay. And I think we spoke about it in an executive session. In the budget, there's a reimbursement for the borough manager of $2,500. What is that for?
That is for the contract items that I have.
Which are?
I don't want to discuss my contract in public.
I don't know how to vote for that if I don't know what items there are. I mean, your contract is public information.
Helen, you know what these are.
No, I don't. I don't know what the 2,500 is. I don't. Bob, tell me what they are for then. Is there anyone on council who could tell me what it's for?
Bob, I have a question that may be part of this.
If our first listener were here, I could ask what I'm allowed to talk about, which I don't. Which unfortunately, I don't have him available. But
The contract is public knowledge, but my question is, in Judith's contract, we have approved the $200 a month for her car expenses, $250 for her phone because she uses her own phone versus our phone.
Right.
So the question is that the 2,500 or is there a different 2,500?
Yes, that is. That's part of it, yes.
So you don't, so the 250 you receive monthly doesn't come in your check, your paycheck?
Yes, it does, but it comes out of an expense. It comes out of a line item, that line item.
So it's not really a reimbursement then? Like it can't be considered a reimbursement if it's already in your paycheck?
No, it's a reimbursement in the paycheck. It's done that way,
It's identified as that.
yes.
Why isn't that a payroll expense?
Right.
It is. It is, but the line items that were set up lead to that reimbursement line item. I've said this to council on several occasions. That's how it was set up prior to me being here.
So then it's not, so if it's in your paycheck, then there's you're paying 7% Social Security, or that would be included. So I just think there's some
I mean, this is
conflation.
all in the preliminary budget that we discussed at last night's budget meeting, as well as last week. I mean, that was
Well, this figure changed though, and I think that's where it was 7,500 this past year. Now it's 2,500. So
If we increase it back to 75, would that be happy?
Can you explain why? Can you explain
Andrew,
the decrease?
Yes, the decrease is because the borough had agreed to pay for my hotel expense and my toll expense. They are taking that away at this time.
Okay.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Mr. Paul, may I just confirm, I have the second on the motion for 4A, but I don't have the first.
Carletha was the second.
Scott was the
Scott
first.
was the first.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions, comments?
So this is the preliminary budget. It's open to the public, and then there's no other meetings about the budget?
Correct. Once voted on this evening, it needs to be at the borough office for anyone who would like to view it for 11 days. We'll have it available tomorrow morning.
Could you also, on this preliminary budget, on the wage sheet, where you talk about police arbitration, where the police are getting a raises of 2% for 6 months and then compounded 2% for the remainder 6 months, could you put that average is 4.04%?
I'm sorry, you said it averages what?
4.04%.
Certainly.
I don't have anything more.
Anyone else? Let's do a roll call vote. Virginia, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy has it. Ms. Sherlock.
I was just wondering if we were going to do if the manager was going to do a quick review of what we did, or like our preliminary budget, that's the synopsis, so that the public knows what we've done, or what.
I think a vote should be taken, and I can do that. I think you should finish your vote, and I can certainly do that.
If
Well, then
approved.
maybe it's not necessary then.
Virginia, would you call a roll, please?
Okay.
Yes, I will. Mr. Lubin?
Yes.
Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Mrs. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Manette?
Yes.
Mr. Lawler?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Price Engelhardt?
Yes.
And Mrs. Sherlock?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like me to read that?
Motion passes. Ms. Danko?
Thank you. We have a preliminary budget 2024 synopsis before us. It's a balanced budget with a decrease in real estate tax of 5 mils and a capital reserves fund due to the new EIT revenue. The assessed mill value increased from $59,209 in 2023 to $59,262 in 2024. The difference is $75 of value. The real estate taxes decrease, the decrease in real estate tax of 5 mils, which is now 30, will be 30 mils in January 1st of 2024. We no longer need to go to court now, and we will be at an allowable millage due to the EIT revenues. A decrease of approximately $291,523 in real estate tax revenue takes place because of the lowering of the millage. This revenue will be replaced with the EIT revenues. The earned income tax, we have a new line item, estimated income for 2024 of $1.4 million. Trending continues to be unknown due to newly enacted ordinance. Requested stats from Keystone Collections, and they told us that they felt that we would probably stay steady with the 1.4, and it should be closer to 1.8 next year. Allocated monies, $291,523 loss of real estate tax revenue. Ms. Hall says it's $275,000 loss of MMA voucher, $100,000 police truck weight scale, $20,000 police capital purchase, $30,000 police technology, $10,000 park activities, $16,500 park maintenance equipment mowers, yearly increases in property, liability, and medical insurances, yearly wage increases, $750,000 contingency fund, which we have never had. This is to pay the bills of the borough from November of 23 through May of 2024. What takes place is we don't have any tax revenue coming in at that time, so we need to pay the bills during that period of time, so we need to have the contingency to do that. The capital reserves contingency fund / sinking fund, we have revenues of $59,000. It does not cover the $80,000 plus interest and principal. This is for a loan that was acquired by the borough years ago in regarding to the windows in this building and some of the street lighting and so forth with Johnson Controls. We are counting on monies from back taxes to compensate for the deficit along with EIT monies. The MMA, the contribution rate is $450,000 again for 2024. The future contributions are unknown. We must review that again for the 2025 budget. A potential loss in 2025 will decrease the capital reserves to an unacceptable number, so this is something that we will need to look at. The general fund expense / savings, we have a savings with the police medical insurance reimbursement from approximately $15,000 to $4,474 a year. That was due to police negotiations. I'm proud to announce that. Savings on manager's medical insurance, $6,221 a year. Savings on $5,000 manager reimbursements. Possible savings, manager applied for a $191,876 grant to fund one new F-550 dump truck with a plow and salt spreader, one new F-250 truck with a plow. The grant that we applied for this year is for the purchase of a dump truck with snow plow and salt spreader. That is right now currently at the outfitters. So we're happy to say that that's $128,000 worth of vehicle and accessories that we were able to acquire through grants. Happy to talk about that. The possible expense that we have is $100,000 we have set aside for the police truck weight scale, which either needs to be repaired or replaced. We're looking into that. The in and out funds balanced to zero. That's the fire, the EMS, and the pension funds. The revenues are the same as the expenditures every year. Library fund. We hired replacement staff and existing staff, now coordinating in the operating of the library with their mandated open hours of 40 hours per week while staying within the budget allocations. I'm happy to say that that's working out. A mandatory $4,830.37 was added to the budget for 2024 because the PC's replacements must be done per the Bucks County Free Library. It's a mandatory replacement that we must do each year. The library programs line item increased by $1,000 last year for the donations. Last year we did get, I apologize, $1,000 increased for the library program. The donations that we received last year were $2,000, and we will hopefully have another $2,000 worth of donations this year. Recreation fund, we allocated $75,000 towards matching grant funds. So if we do apply for any grants for the recreation facilities, we will have $75,000 towards the match of grants if we do acquire grants for that. The Public Works/Streets Department, we're no longer paying payroll from liquid fuels. Dollars were shifted to the general fund, which is the street budget. By doing so, the liquid fuels will be used to fund the paving of roads, approximately $250,000 worth per year with equipment and material and so forth. That is something that we will be doing ongoing because we will have the funds in liquid fuels to be able, and some people understand it as highway aid, we will have those funds to be allocated strictly for the streets. So we hope to have some nice street projects taking place in the future. We did 2 streets this year, and we're happy to say that that's working out well. Sanitation fund, we're happy to say that residential is $425. It was only an $8 increase. The commercial cost is $823 with only a $15 increase. Those amounts are in the 2024 fee schedule. I'm happy to announce the pensions. Uniform and non-uniform pensions are fully funded. That's a very good thing to be able to announce. The wage sheet with police arbitration, it resulted in police raises. They begin January 1st, 2024. They get a 2% raise, and then again on July 1st, 2024, they get another 2% raise, which is supposed to be compounded from December of this year, not in June of 2024, which we now know amounts to 4.01%. The non-uniform employees per contract raise is 3%. The ARPA funds we have spent so far, we've purchased a new gas boy fuel system for $21,923. We have did sewer work on the Borough building that was much needed, $19,034. Plumbing in the Borough building, $6,379. Plumbing in the police department, $10,200. We're working on that. That has not been completed yet. HVAC for the ambulance building, which is right next door, that was $10,300. The new roof that is almost completed on the Borough building, $232,250. The electric that we'll be doing shortly in the Borough building, $104,000, which totals $404,086. The projects that will be in progress are a security window access down at the Borough office building downstairs, revised desk systems, office computers, hardware, software, website, emails, servers, cloud-based, a fob security system in the entire building, camera systems new and updated, and HVAC public works building. The 2024 budget is fully funded with a capital reserves contingency fund of $750,000 and presented to you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judith.
You're welcome.
Moving on to other business. Item 5A, they consider a motion to approve an independent contractor agreement with Rarefied Leadership Group LLC to serve the borough as Director of Police Administration, pending the borough's search for a full-time Chief of Police.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay. Let's do a roll call, Virginia. I was too hasty to do the voice vote.
Okay, yes.
I apologize.
Mr. Lubin,
Yes.
Mr. Paul,
Yes.
Mrs. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Reness,
Yes.
Ms. Olago,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Price Engelhardt,
No.
And Mrs. Sherlock.
No.
President, the vote is 6-2. Motion passes.
Thank you, Virginia. And there being no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you all for coming tonight.